Verse 31 of Surah Yunus, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this we call Usloob Hakim, in a very wise style of the Quran Kareem. A literal translation of that. But the style of the Quran Kareem, that addressing the Rasul of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, that say to those who associate partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, associate partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that who is the one who provides from the heaven and earth, meaning from the sky, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, from above, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, through rain clouds and rain, and the earth is like a platform which accepts this and gives growth, vegetation comes, etc., etc. All of these things which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created, those who associate partners with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is something we call badihi, it's something that's evident, self-evident, you can witness, you can see, that nothing and no one has any part to play in this. Or ask them, مَنْ يَمْلِكُ السَّمْعَ وَالْأَبْصَارَ, who holds power over hearing and seeing, meaning granting the ability to hear, granting the ability to see, these amazing faculties, senses that we have. Do you see any of this, witness anything else, that if Allah Ta'ala decided someone is born blind, that anyone else can do anything about it? Or what is it that someone else did to allow this baby, this child that's born from that time, it's able to see, the baby child's able to see, to hear? Who was over there, who is over there to facilitate any of that? This is all clear, these are all clear things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does whatever He does alone, that no one is any partner with Him. وَمَنْ يُخْرِجُ الْحَيَّ مِنَ الْمَيِّتِ, who brings forth the living from the dead. Many examples of this. For example, you have an egg, from an egg, a living chick comes out. Semen, dead material, dead fluid, there's no life in that. From that, human being comes out, running, walking, running, speaking. وَيُخْرِجُ الْمَيِّتَ مِنَ الْحَيِّ, from living things, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala brings out dead things as well. Meaning these things for Allah ta'ala, hayat, maut, these are things which are in His qudra. The dead land, from that, flowers come forth into the spring, you'll see that. Right? So all of these things are totally under the qudra, capacity and power of Allah Ta'ala. وَمَنْ يُدَبِّرُ الْأَمْرِ, tadbir, the quality of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, tadbir. Tadbir means what? Tadbir is a planning, considering what the end of something will be, considering the end, what should this result in. For example, if you're going to plan a building, so how do you plan? You plan backwards, right? Now, what do you want? How do you want the end result to be? So how do we get to that? Therefore, we need to do these things to eventually be able to get over it. So tadbir of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how everything, Allah ta'ala conducts every affair with this perfection, that if a human being is to see, then where should the eyes be placed? If he's to speak, where should the mouth be placed? If there's a bird, then how and what should the wings be given? If it's a bird which lives in such and such place, what climate should be there? What are the other things that should be in those places? Everything that we study about the earth, whether it be geographical, whether it be biological, whether it be oceanic, whatever a person studies and sees about the earth and the other things that are in existence, all of that is part of that is the tadbir of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, how He has perfectly placed everything, the solar system. Now if you ask these mushrikun, فَسَيَقُولُونَ اللَّهِ, the Quran says, immediately their response will be, it's Allah. Mushrik means that they are ascribing partners with Allah, not that they're, so they will, definitely they'll have to say this. فَسَيَقُولُونَ اللَّهِ, immediately they'll say this. So the Quran says that, oh Rasulullah, tell them, أَفَلَا تَتَّقُونَ, then do you not have the taqwa of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that you don't listen, that you are not accepting, have no obedience to what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is telling you through the Rasul of Allah. And on top of that, you ascribe partners that He needs. These things that are occurring, such magnanimous thing, all of that Allah ta'ala does alone with your own affirmation, you accept that. Then what's lesser than that, under that? Why does this make any sense to say that Allah ta'ala has associates then? That He needs these goddesses and godlings? فَذَلِكُمُ اللَّهُ رَبُّكُمُ الْحَقِّ. Then that is your true Lord. Rabbul Haqq, Rabbukum al-Haqq, your true Lord. Everything else which you may consider that this thing gives us money, this is a God for this, and this is this, such things. All of these things are, as the Quran says, فَمَاذَا بَعْدَ الْحَقِّ إِلَّا الضَّلَالِ. That if this is the true Rabb, then after truth, anything else would be what? Falsehood, it's deviance. Right? So the Quran Kareem tells us when it comes to the Aqidah of Islam, when it comes to the Aqidah of reality, haqa'iq, then there's only a binary. When it comes to Aqidah of Islam, Aqidah, things of Aqidah, there's a binary. Either haqq or dalal. Either truth or deviance. Right. There's no middle path over there. A little bit right, a little bit wrong. That's not a thing. So perennialist ideas, okay, they're also right. These guys are also right. So and so is also right. That's wrong. And when it comes to Aqidah, then it's only one of two things: either haqq, the truth, or dalal, deviance. فَأَنَّا تُصْرَفُونَ. And how then are you being turned away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? How is it possible that after knowing and understanding and seeing the rububiyyah of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah ta'ala is the only Rabb who provides from top to bottom everything, whether it be things in the afaq, universal outside, or whether it be anfusi means within ourselves, whether it be within us, or whether it be external to us. All of these things you're seeing that Allah Ta'ala provides, then how are you being led astray from Him? كَذَلِكَ حَقَّتْ كَلِمَةٌ. Now Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, since he was hadith upon the iman of people, he wanted people to accept iman in Islam, then Rasul of Allah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam would become sometimes, you'd be down, you'd become sad, you'd be grieved. There's so much effort. He explains to people this way. Akhlaq is the most amazing of akhlaq and character. Despite that, these people are not accepting. They're being arrogant, they're being stubborn. So Allah Ta'ala, the Quran Kareem, reveals many ayat, verses, as a tasalli. Tasalli meaning consoling the Rasul of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, that there's nothing wrong with you. So this is one of those. كَذَلِكَ حَقَّتْ كَلِمَةُ رَبِّكَ. That it is the word of your Lord will come to pass against those who come. Meaning this has already been written in there. This has already been written. That Allah Ta'ala knows that this is how they will be. عَلَى الَّذِينَ فَسَقُوا أَنَّهُمْ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. That they will not believe. Allah Ta'ala already knows in His ilm azali, before time. From before time, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, it's already in His knowledge that these individuals, they will not believe, they will not have iman, obviously through their own ikhtiyar, their own choice. So you, O Rasul of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, O Rasul of Allah, you should not grieve in this manner. Don't take it too hard on yourself. We may dua that Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala gives us understanding of the Quran Kareem. Subhanallah, bihamdihi, subhanallah, wa bihamdihi. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka.